Hey there everybody, and welcome back. It's been a little while since we've been together because, as you guys probably recall, I was undergoing a new computer build which took a little bit longer than originally anticipated. We'll start by talking about the new computer that we'll be using for the foreseeable future and some of the components that are in it. So first of all, we'll put two new graphics cards in it, which are GTX 980s. I'm a big water cooling enthusiast, so of course they're going into my water cooling loop. Also, as I've really started to take a liking to this YouTube video thing, I decided to invest in a new microphone as well to make sure you guys are getting the best experience possible. Also, probably the most considerable upgrade is that we changed our monitor out to a 21 by 9 32-inch LG monitor, which gives us a very cinematic widescreen. And you guys will be looking at that 21 by 9 today, so let me know what you guys think about the new resolution. This is the completed build. As you guys can see, I wasn't joking when I said I'm a water cooling enthusiast. It's a 2-pump, dual loop, 5 radiator water cooled system. Everything from RAM to the CPU to the motherboard to the graphics cards. And this is the new display in all its curved screen glory, which it is. I'll tell you what, it's been really fun to be able to use this monitor for simming, and hopefully you guys have fun watching the videos that get produced on it. So with that said, let's start heading our way on over to the terminal. Now, where we are today is a brand new airport by Orbx. It was kind of announced late, since Orbx new policy has been to not announce airports until it's in the beta tester's hands. So we just found out about this one a couple of weeks ago. But I'll tell you what, it's been one of the most enjoyable airports to fly around in. It's located up in Alaska, and the code is PAHO, and it's known as Homer Airport. Now, it's a relatively small airport, but it is an international airport because it sits just on the southernmost peninsula in Alaska. It's actually smack dab in the middle between Anchorage, Alaska, and Kodiak Island, which, if you guys ever watched that old Coast Guard Alaska show, a lot of times you'd find them at Kodiak Island. So it has a lot of flights into and out of Canada, and because of that, it's an international airport. You don't really see any large jets here. This is more like a Dash 8 Island or some Twin Otters, etc., and a lot of privately owned aircraft as well. But it definitely does have commercial flights. One interesting fact about Homer that a lot of folks may not recall is that it was actually one of the islands that was hit very hard by the old Exxon Valdez oil spill, which was right on the southeastern side of Anchorage, and that oil flowed right on down into the little fishing town that surrounds Homer. It's only about 5,500 people large, so they got hit pretty hard. So let's get on into our plane. Now here we are in what everybody knows is probably my favorite new GA aircraft, which is the Realair Duke Turbine V2. And she's perfect for this kind of, I don't know if I'd quite call it bush flying, but this kind of harsh weather, small airfield type flying, and should really allow us to get a good scenic view of the beautiful area surrounding the Homer Airport. So we'll go ahead and jump on into the cockpit, and we'll go through the startup, and we'll get ourselves on out to the taxiway. Now, although we're going to be doing a lot of great flying in today's video, I also wanted to make sure that we spend some time talking about some of the develops in the flight simulator community that have happened since I've made my last video. I've been hard at work not only trying to get this new computer finished up, but also, of course, trying to finalize or trying to continue work on the PMDG 737 FSX Steam Edition fix that I've been working very hard on. Now, although it's been fun to do that, I will tell you that I'll probably stop work on it now, simply because PMDG has released some updates letting us know about, although not necessarily a published timeline, just letting us know about the fact that they anticipate the 737, not only with its new updates such as weather radar, etc., but also Steam Edition compatibility coming out here in the relatively near future. It sounds like it's just about ready to get in the hands or out of the hands of beta testers now, so I would anticipate that we see the 737 series from PMDG coming out for Steam Edition probably by the end of this week. Although I really anticipate it over the next couple of days. So that'll be very, very exciting, and of course we'll be making some videos and doing some short hauls together in the 737, which is one of my favorite aircraft of all time. Now, another update from PMDG is that there's been a lot of controversy, I guess you could say, about this, is that they released their 777 for P3D, or for prepared. Now, the reason why there's been a lot of controversy about this is because a lot of folks were not very happy with the pricing policy that PMDG issued. PMDG released this aircraft for the same price that it had released it on FSX about a year ago or so, which was $89.99, I believe is what the price is. Now, that's considered promotional pricing because in the very near future, PMDG is anticipating that the price will go up to $134.99, and of course they'll have different pricing tiers as they start to get into the professional and commercial side of the P3D platform. So the reason why there's been so much controversy is that a lot of folks have been relatively displeased with the fact that some folks had anticipated that PMDG would have released the 777 with promotional pricing for existing FSX users of the 777, but obviously PMDG did not have a pricing tier that was aimed specifically at those who owned the 777 on FSX. The main reason why so many folks are displeased by this is because, as many of you know, P3D is largely the same simulator as FSX. In fact, most add-ons work with the use of a Russian migration tool or an Estonian migration tool work just fine on P3D if they worked in FSX. And a lot of developers have taken akin to allowing cross-platform compatibility free of charge, such as Orbx and Aerosoft and many others that are out there. However, PMDG has decided not to do that promotional pricing for cross-platform users, because really PMDG kind of backed up a statement that I made in my P3D versus FSX side-by-side video, which is that they largely see P3D for what Lockheed Martin says P3D is, which is a academic, professional, and commercial platform, not an entertainment one. So as PMDG looks to continue to support this platform long-term, and they look to target, I guess you could say, a different subset of flight simulation users who are less into entertainment and more into professional use, they wanted to adjust the price for what they anticipate will be the commensurate expenses of continuing to support not only this different user group, but this platform that continues to evolve in various ways, and they anticipate that there'll be added expense in continuing to develop on that platform. So, you know, P3D is a great platform, but as I said, it's a professional and commercial level sim. It's not something that's intended for entertainment. So, you know, if you were expecting Lockheed Martin or PMDG to treat P3D like a game, you know, you probably had the wrong expectation set in the first place. Anyways, before we continue to talk, let's go ahead and get ourselves lined up here on the runway, and we'll take off into the beautiful Homer scenery. Now we're taking off on runway 22, which takes us out pretty much directly to the west, and we're going to be making a left crosswind on down to the peninsula where all the docks are here at Homer. So largely here in the winter, you find that Homer is kind of landlocked with ice. In fact, later on in the video you guys will see the little ice runway that becomes active during the winter time here at Homer. And then after that we're going to turn on downwind, and then we'll turn base, heading towards the mountains, and then come in for a final and taxi our way on back to the terminal. So here we go. I'm not flying with ATC today, so you may see some some runway incursions and some other craziness going on with the AI, as I'm not really communicating with the local air traffic. This is largely a non-tower controlled airport, so you're talking with other pilots in terms of letting them know what your intentions are, where you are relative to the airport, etc. And over there you see the peninsula, and we'll get ready to start our turn here once we get a little bit further out over water. So that was the update regarding PMDG. Another update I wanted to talk to you guys about is in regards to Orbx. So actually something pretty surprising happened the other day with Orbx, and it wasn't something I was originally anticipating to happen, but John V, who is the CEO of Orbx, had mentioned some time ago that Dovetail was in active discussions with him regarding their simulator, not only FSX Steam Edition, but whatever their future rendition of a flight simulator will be. And he, along with a number of other developers, were kind of skeptical about, what exactly Dovetail's intentions were and what is it that they were intending to do. Whether or not it would be a closed development platform, or whether it would continue to be an open one where third parties could make add-ons as they wished without various rights or access to the platform from Dovetail. And he expressed concerns that were not misguided, but were relatively appropriate and were widely shared across the flight simulator community from various developers. So with that said, he did take Dovetail up on going to visit them, and at the end of his visit, he said something that was pretty cool and pretty encouraging, for me at least, as I wasn't quite sure what the outcome of that would be, but he did say that, and I quote this, "I endorse FSX Steam Edition fully. There is clearly performance and vast usage improvement. Anyone trying to downplay that is wasting internet cycles, so you can just ignore them. There were improvements made to the very old code and some glaring bugs fixed. This is not news to anybody, and the evidence is tangible. At their invitation, I visited Dovetail Games in Kent, UK yesterday, and I came away impressed. Good guys there, and they have a vision for flight simulation. FSX Steam Edition is now installed on my development PC, and it's my go-to sim now. Enough said. We are deep testing ObjectFlow.dll now, and hopefully we'll see release for FSX Steam Edition very soon, so stay tuned." So, pretty exciting, and the reason why that's exciting is for a number of reasons. Number one, it shows that Dovetail is not the devil that a lot of folks kind of made them out to be, and the most encouraging part, I guess you could say, about all this is that John V, who is a very outspoken member of the FSX community, along with Pete Dawson, who is very adamantly supported FSX Steam Edition. He calls a spade, and if there's something wrong with Dovetail's vision or the way that they are leading FSX Steam Edition or the community, he would say it. But instead, he said that their vision, which he believes on the Orbx forums, he had a separate post where he said that he believes that their vision aligns with Orbx. Is obviously an encouraging one. I mean, this is a guy who's been developing for the flight simulation community and has, one of the most significant companies in the flight simulation community. And for him to say that their vision aligns with his, tells you that that vision is not only third-party developer friendly, but I think should produce some great products for us on the end user side. So exciting to hear that. Very encouraging, and I was excited to hear that he was excited about it. So we're right here over the peninsula now, here at Homer. As you guys can see, there's a lot of cool boats that are down there, and a cute little town. I actually love to visit. I'm contemplating one of these days when the weather's not so bad going out there. I mean, I think it'd be cool to just kind of sit there on those docks and sit out there at that little peninsula and just kind of watch the traffic come in and out. but beautiful, beautiful area to fly into. I mean, gorgeous water, awesome terrain, and just seems like a great place to get to fly. Anyway, so on to some other news that's out there. The other news that's been happening is Dovetail has continued to release or announce the release or intention to release various add-ons for FSX Steam Edition. One of them is actually by and look, I'll say that some of the add-ons are old ones from defunct FSX developers of the past. But one is actually a very original one, and it's one that's exclusive to Steam Edition, and it's called Dangerous Approaches by somebody who some of you in the flight simulator community, especially those of you who read flight simulator related publications. This one's actually being developed by a lady by the name of Jane Whitaker. And Jane Whitaker is a columnist for PC Pilot and writes for a number of FSX related publications out there. And she designed this add-on called Dangerous Approaches, which should take you across what they call 20 adrenaline charged missions. That include, things like landing at Everest base camps or flying through the Sierra Nevada range while transporting medical supplies in a snowstorm, and all these different kinds of crazy scenarios that you would never want to find yourself in real life aviation. But she puts us in them, and for experienced FSX pilots, I think it'll be a cool kind of scenario pack to try our skills, and for new pilots, it'll help hone your skills. So it's pretty cool. I mean, I'll actually probably be buying that particular DLC. The rest of them aren't really of interest to me. They're more intended for those that are new to the sim and haven't really quite figured out how great the third-party developer scene is. But this Dangerous Approaches one sounds pretty doggone cool, so you'll probably find me flying it once it gets released. So that was really it in terms of the updates. I wanted to make sure that I shared with you guys my thoughts on MDG 777 release, or not really my thoughts, but just kind of the two sides of the story there. Wanted to make sure that I shared with you guys the exciting developments in terms of John V and Orbx's pledge to continue to support FSX Steam Edition, along with his enthusiasm about the vision and direction that Dovetail Games seems to be taking the FS community. And of course show you guys this beautiful rendition from Orbx of Homer Airport, which is in southern Alaska, and also give you guys a little bit of context about the city and its significance to the area. With that said, let's get ourselves here on approach. Back into Homer. Weather's relatively moderate. As you guys saw, there's some light snow that's out there. So gears down, flaps coming down, and we got all our anti-icing on because it's a chilly day. And we're red over white, so good. We're on the glide slope now. What a beautiful approach on it. And I think I'll be spending a good amount of time at this airport. It's different than all the desert flying I do at 29 Palms and Palm Springs, and it's a great escape from the big jet lining that I do as well. So you guys will probably see me really dallying around this airport in some future videos. And I actually think there's traffic on the runway. There is, but I don't have aircraft collisions on, so we'll just close our eyes and pretend that never happened. He looks like he's trying to taxi down the runway to take off. So let's worry about our landing. We'll worry about him in a minute. Right. And we're down, and here he comes. Ow. You can see the snow kicking up behind his prop wash. which is the FSX Precipidex. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, package, but right, here we are at our taxiway, and we're going to take ourselves back over to the terminal. That's one heck of a nice jet for a little airport like Homer. Alright, we'll take off our landing lights and our strobes here. Hold the center line, and we'll take off all of our ice protections, close up our oil cooling doors on the engines. We'll go right back over to where we started, in front of the terminal, right behind the Homer that you see there on the tarmac. Alright, and here we are. We'll do ourselves a little turn, and we'll line her up and shut her off. So, glad to be back with you guys. Look forward to some videos here in the coming days as the 737 gets released, and the computer's now done, so we'll be spending some more time in the air together. So thanks so much for everybody tuning in. Really appreciate it. Everybody had a great weekend, and I look forward to talking to you all soon. Alright, catch you guys later. Take care.